Welcome back to the ESL One Katowice group stage. Our second series of the day is about to get underway. Lizard joining me here on the mic as we get ourselves into Gambit versus Mineski. Now, Lizard, we've seen Mineski, we've not seen Gambit on our stream, and Mineski looked a little bit shaky.
They definitely did. They didn't really perform way too well yesterday, but Gambit, man, they're on fire. And honestly, ever since FNG came to this team, he's been doing quite all right. Like, he basically just took the reins in his own hands and is just...
This is my team now.
This is my team now. And it feels like every time FNG is in some team, it feels like it's an FNG team. It doesn't matter what the players are, who the players are, they always stick on a higher frequency. They play faster than they used to without him. So Gambit is very similar. He went from Team Spirit into Gambit, and now they have these very specific drafts too, like a Nyx Assassin.
Immersion has gone from spamming Bounty Hunter to spamming Nyx Assassin. That's his hero now, apparently. And they're first phasing it quite often. Gambit, so far in this tournament, looking pretty hot.
Position 4 or Position 3, one of the main things that hero needs to have is a level 10 90 gold talent.
And the Hand of Midas to go with it.
And the Hand of Midas to go with it. You grab that Nyx, you have that gold talent. The hero itself is pretty strong right now, does a lot. So, has that bonus region, base region from the latest patch. So overall, Nyx Assassin pretty good. Then you have the Jakiro, a hero that's tanky, a hero that can be your full position 5 on FNG if they decide to roll it that way.
10 seconds
which leaves Immersion with a lot of space to farm with that Nyx to get those items. I mean, it can still be old College, right? It can still be Afterlife with that Nyx. By the way, old College, that's old shark for old small shark. No,
Small like shark? Old shark?
Old shark, but like also small, a college. I think it's like a small shark. Like
an old baby shark.
I'm not certain. My Russian is alright, but not great. So it's something about an old shark. Anyways, there's something about Drow Ranger on Mineski. Do you like this hero? Do you like the raid bands into Bling Dagger, into farming ancients, one-shotting them, stuff like that?
I don't have any strong feelings one way or another.
You don't mind her?
I don't mind Drow Ranger.
You don't have any strong feelings towards her, no?
Not really. I like her in specific matchups. I've seen a number of teams play Drow in that kind of 1v1 against OD. I'm not sure how well she does against Medusa, if it is a 1v1 Drow-Dusa mid lane.
I saw no one win versus Razor even with Drow Ranger. So.
Yeah.
But that's no one, though. It's like...
He can win any lane with any hero.
Yeah.
Jakiro for Gambit.
Yeah, Drow Ranger does have that profit, so he's gonna hit a bit harder with that passive, with the Blightstone. Now we're gonna have a Night Stalker. Alright. I mean, yesterday and the day before, we haven't seen a single Night Stalker, and I'm wondering what happened, because this hero, like, ever since the major qualifier has been on the rise, everyone is looking at, like, Night Stalker as the next new Imba hero. You just... So, this is the problem. I just wanted to say, you just have to have a good first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's daylight. And that's when your void is just useless. So you have to have a decent start in order for you to start rotating across the map and creating space, creating kills.
It's always super nice when your offlane hero can buy, Vlad's Crimson, all these big, beefy, tanky items, but can also hunt for kills through his ulti.
With that AoE silence. That AoE silence is scary for Brew, definitely for Prophet.
They just Prophet. Like you want to sprout and TP, all of a sudden AoE silence.
There's a cloud of darkness
dear.
above you. You see a vampire jumping on top of your trees and feasting on your little tree ants.
And he's not a pretty looker, is he? That Night Stalker.
Why do you judge? Come on.
I'm allowed to say he's not very pretty. He's
handsome as hell. Like, look at those muscles. He's manly.
He's stacked, but his face...
Dude, I would trade my looks for those muscles. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, yeah?
Well, maybe not. Maybe for the wings, though.
For the wings, and it's a package deal.
Yeah. Kunkka, however. Alright. A hero that's pretty standard in the meta. Strong versus most heroes on that mid lane. Overall, just fares well. Has that boat that just buffs every team. So, not really any specific here. Nothing specific that he does in this game, besides that rum that saves you versus the Duzad split shot, I suppose.
gives you a ton of team fight from that mid lane as well. But does it shift the Drow into safe lane?
I'm not certain. I think so. But he doesn't have any true, how to call it, heroes that he can blow up with one crit either. Yeah, it's mid Kunkka, I think. They banned out the Razor for a reason, so... The Oracle ban is interesting, though.
Remaining.
Are they looking at Darkseer? Like, they already have the... they can't, right?
Remaining.
Position 1 Night Stalker? Or is it Night Stalker mid?
Night Stalker mid, position 1 Duzen.
Yeah.
I don't know how Night Stalker is gonna fare versus Kunkka, though. It's not great.
No, probably not. The final pick is a Sven for Mineski.
Sven, alright.
Even more damage mitigation to keep that Drow alive on top of the boat.
That Sven plus Drow, it's all about this Drow on this team, honestly. Yeah, you look at Kunkka, you think, alright, he's gonna be dishing out that damage, but it's all about this Drow. Making her lane work out, giving her Warcry, giving her Rum. And she goes ham. She's drunk, she's tipsy.
10 seconds remaining.
She's crying for war.
5
Screaming
seconds
for it.
remaining.
Screaming.
What do we need now? Jakiro for FNG, Immersion on the Nyx. Night Stalker, we're unsure. But it's probably a Dahak Medusa. I don't know about this Night Stalker, eh? What if Gambit picked it up with alongside? I've not really
Ember.
played too much of it, and
Now
out comes
select
Ember
your
Spirit.
heroes.
So it will be the Afterlife Night Stalker, Dahak Medusa. Yeah, everything lines up pretty
Looks-
nicely.
Yeah, it looks like they want to put F1 Ninja on mid with that Ember. Right? You put the Night Stalker off lane, Nyx Assassin 4. And this is going to be the Duza safe lane it should be, right? So, pretty interesting draft coming from Gambit. I'm not certain how much Ember is going to be able to do versus Kunkka, right? Because it's not the easiest lane for him, but he should do quite fine. He should be alright.
I mean, what are the odds looking like for this one? Yeah, Gambit pretty favoured. Their win streak continuing. Mineski looking a bit on the rocks. But we are, of course, still looking for that Mercedes MVP. So get your votes in and take a look at this. Who's your MVP going to be this game? Before it starts, before the series begins, who are you calling out to be the star player?
I'm calling out Afoninje.
Okay. Ember
You?
Spirit?
You?
I'm calling FNG.
FNG?
Yeah.
With the Jakiro? He's gonna make some great dual brats. He's gonna be amazing on that Jakiro.
So there's nothing I love more in Dota 2 than players like FNG
Mm-hmm.
and my goodness.
What?
Why do I forget his name?
FNG and Pylai Dai.
No.
And Puppy. And
Triumph.
Always wanna fly.
No. But anyway, they have no boots
Solo,
in 20 minutes.
Solo.
No.
Cinderella.
The old
No
way
boots,
Solo used to
Cinderella.
play.
I mean, definitely Cinder.
But FNG makes it work with no boots.
You're saying Cinderella does not make it work.
Van Score and FNG.
Vancouver score.
Vancouver Score. They both have very... Oh, look at that. Quad
Oh,
tips. Out.
the tips. He's rich.
Easy money.
Damn, dude. What is that? Why?
I don't know.
Oh, here we go.
Synchronized tips.
We're dark.
Beautiful.
What's happening here?
That's team play right there. The quad tip immediately.
It's something on the land that we don't see, I guess. They're waving at each other and just tipping.
Hey, tips.
Tip me, tip me.
But yeah, these kind of position 6, there's nothing I love more than seeing a hero with no items doing things, accomplishing stuff, and winning the games off the back of it.
I mean, yeah, as long as you have some iron branches for luck. GG branch, right?
He's got a couple of them.
30 seconds to
That's all you need. That's all a position 5 truly needs.
How are we setting up these lanes?
It looks like they have some aggressive thing going on for Gambit. We have a tri-lane with the Nyx and the Duza. On the top lane they sent Old Akulich, the Night Stalker Afterlife. And on the mid lane we have Alpha Ninja.
The bottom bounty rune is going to be a bit of a scrappy fight. Mineski quickly realizing they cannot withstand the Nyx on the front lines, grabbing
So-
the bounty rune.
Like, you can see many players mess up with the starting build on position 4s, especially on position 4s such as Tusk and Nyx. But this is definitely the build here. He went for Stout and 3 mangoes. He has a lot of base regen, and with these mangoes he's going to be able to sustain himself versus the constant harassment that's going to come from Pylai Dai and Drow. So he's going to be in front, tanking that damage.
Pylai die, Tango Salve, no Blightstone. It feels bad, man.
Yeah, he doesn't really hit hard. Febby is here now too, but all 3 of these heroes, they need to commit into killing the Nyx. They are getting him low, but he should be fine, I think.
Triple Mango Tango, 13.9 HP, but look at the body block from the Treant. Turns with a quick impale.
Yeah, Duze is in problems now though, is she?
Mystic Snake with no mana shield, and Febby with another stun ready to go.
He hopes not to though.
Gyro Ranger doesn't want to continue getting too involved deep into that fight. They've already burnt a good amount of the regen on Gambit in this tri-lane. Mineski coming out on top so far.
You know, these pesky little treants, it doesn't look like they have a way of dealing with them so far at least. And they're definitely burning through Gambit's region completely. What's happening on other lanes though? Let's leave it for just this moment to check other lanes out. Mid lane, kinda evenish, right? And top lane, it's pretty much the same. Alright, there's nothing really happening on these 1v1 lanes.
Just farm trading. Ember 9-1, Kunkka 7-3. Kunkka should start to take a bit more of a lead as he progresses into level 4, level 5 with the extra bits in Tidebringer. Top lane, I guess, is just a farm trade with no kill power.
Yeah, I doubt anyone is gonna fall here unless someone makes a major mistake.
Argit on this Drow Ranger. 4 and 6, plenty of denies, but struggling to really secure the last hits. Medusa even more so, 2 and 3 for Dahak.
Yeah, Dahak is definitely not having a good time. Drow Ranger is one of those heroes that has a very weird attack animation, level 1. But she's doing quite fine versus the Duza so far.
What's the purpose of this Drow Ranger going to be?
She's supposed to kill people, I think. Right-click them to death.
Punch them with arrows.
Just punch them with the arrows, yeah.
Usually I see her mid in like specific matchups, and then you go back into jungle, you kind of AFK farm.
I think she's gonna be filling a very similar role, and I think we're gonna see FNG seppuku to the tower. He's committing
TP from Pylai Dai? Oh, not quite in time.
At least he didn't use the normal port. He had no cooldown. So.
He swings immediately back down to bottom lane. Jakiro TPing to regroup with the rest of the team. And yeah, these other lanes, mid and top lane, pretty quiet for now. As Febby cutting through the trees, looking for the loop around, the backstab onto the Medusa. Maybe aim for immersion, but Gambit have already retreated well enough. Hang on, FNG, did he cancel his TP? He did, right? He started TPing bottom lane, cancelled it so he could bring tangos.
Yeah, maybe he didn't take the items. Yeah. So it's definitely alright. I mean, I expected him to be suiciding not only to regen himself, but to get more regen to his teammates. So
when they desperately need it, they got out regen pretty heavily. We've still got stick charges, mangoes, tangos across multiple heroes for Mineski.
They got out regen and so far outlaned. Rao is doing pretty much better than this Doza. I mean, you wouldn't be satisfied as Rao, but you aren't satisfied as Doza either when it comes to these last hits, right? They're not doing that great.
And when your other lanes are going very evenly, the stun on the tower. Aggroed onto the range creep though, unfortunately. This could have been an easy kill on Medusa. It might still be. Dahak with the stick charges. Well, he's a couple of seconds for himself, but now it's Immersion's turn. He's been slowed up. They can't really chase down the Nyx with all that HP regen.
Febby is truly just as tanky as this Nyx, plus with that Warcry.
Kunkka Arcane Rune. Moon not going to swing bottom, feeling that it's okay down there for now for them. Afterlife in trouble top lane. KP level 5, looking for the solo kill, and he might just have it. Stick charges are there, 2 more hits to get this Night Stalker. Is another 2 now, 54 HP. KP still trying to get in there, but he can't find him. Night Stalker has juked around the tree line. Gets just enough distance away from the brew.
Was this the play, truly, though? Shouldn't he have stayed in the trees?
I can't tell you.
Crit? Another one? Maybe a clap?
Oh, it's getting close. Does he have stick or mana? Not quite there.
Oh, the jukes! Old Akulich Afterlife
now
God
it's
gets
nighttime.
that night. And now he turns, maybe.
Does he look for the
Very
kill?
unlikely.
There's no way he can go for this one.
he
5-minute bounty runes are coming. FNG has died down bottom, but this is more interesting. Start playing the Benny Hill music as Pylite Eye fakes out the TP, and Afterlife will have to come back and shrine.
Honestly, Afterlife played that marvelously. That was really good. Did you expect him to survive there?
No, I thought
I definitely thought he was dead as well.
the Brew would just like hit him once more and get the kill. Some sick dukes from the Night Stalker. Very even in the CS. Kunkka does start to take that slight lead against Ember Spirit as expected. But you look at the Medusa and she's 5-5. Dahak going for a TP, but that's optimistic, isn't it? In comes Pylite Eye and Febby. Nice ice path from FNG.
But the trees giving vision, blocking as well. Pylite Eye just playing so well with this Furion, and these trees are blocking again.
And this bottom lane's a disaster for Gambit. FNG is going to be an additional kill. Bonus money for Mineski.
Just the bones kill
The
indeed.
mid lane though, maybe here's a play. Afo in onto Moon, gets the solo kill, dodging that X mark with the remnants.
Yeah, actually very well played by FO. He needs to rotate now, he needs to create space. This Drow is very susceptible to these early rotations from Ember. And maybe this is the play that gets Medusa back into the game. She's just gonna run top, but on top it's KP. Like, he's just gonna split. He's also having a good time.
He's level 6.5 and Medusa's level 3.25.
They do have Nyx and they do have Silence, but do they have the damage? Do they have the firepower to kill him?
We'll find out in a second, Lizard, because they are making that move forward. In comes the AoE Silence. Immersion with the Impale and Mystic Snake to finish it off. Maybe KP gets the split off. Gambit ever so close to securing that kill.
Were they saving that kill for Duza? It looked like they might have been. It looked like they might have been saving it.
It feels that way. Like they wanted that Mystic Snake to come in and just finish him off.
Yeah. So sadly for them, they don't get the kill. They do force him to use split, which is gonna force him to be a bit more passive from now on. Bot lane FNG might fall.
He turns. Dual Breath and Ice Path, and the rotation's in. Not just Night Stalker, but also the Ember Spirit. And there's that Drow Ranger falling, just as you said, very susceptible to getting picked off by these early heroes in this first nighttime.
Yeah, Ember Spirit has so much mobility, right? Gets on top of that Drow. If you're not careful with that Gust, he gets on top of you, you're just gone. You're gone as a Drow Ranger. And your mid lane tower, however, is being hit because you rotated December, so... Mineski are reacting to every single movement December does. They instantly punish the tower a little bit, they instantly do some chip damage to the tower. What I've noticed about, I don't know, difference between not tier 1 and tier 2 teams, as they already do it well, but tier 2 and tier 3 teams, is that tier 3 teams, they don't really emphasize doing chip damage to towers, to objectives.
And they feel very often it's, you do it or you don't.
Exactly. Well, you nib it a bit, just nab it a bit.
Little by little.
Every now and then, yeah.
Unhealable damage.
Exactly.
So Medusa has left top lane now into the farming triangle, the triple camp. And Dahak will probably sit here and make this his home for the next 10 minutes or so. Definitely had a very rough game. KP top was basically 1v2ing the Medusa and the Nyx Assassin. So they leave Immersion top to try and grab 6. Afo in mid with FNG. I don't know what they were looking for. But the Jakiro gets found and killed off by 3 from Mineski.
I think they were looking for Drow, and she does show top now, but Ember is already back to mid. And I don't think Night Stalker is gonna go for it as he's alone. There is a rotation coming from from Furion and Sven, but they can't really catch him, can they?
He's out of there. 1 minute until daytime though. So this window of opportunity for Night Stalker is quickly coming to an end.
Yep. He's gonna have to go back to farming. Once he gets a level in Dark Ascension, he can prolong that night to get perhaps 1 kill on the Drow. And speaking of Drow, that kill on top might be going her way.
They do have Carapace here for Immersion and a turnaround Impale, but they are focusing the Drow with the Night Stalker. Remnant forward from Afo and a 2-man Slight Chains. Perfect setup here for Gambit. As they swoop in for more. Pylite die even with the war cries. He's going to try and dip himself behind the tier 1, but the Sprout will not keep him up and running.
These heroes do hit hard, but at the same time, they die just as fast, the Ember. So, Drow Ranger has to be careful if she's doing these offensive movements. I think she needs that Blink Dagger to get out of them as well. Some repositioning tool is necessary at least. I wonder if this is gonna be a Blink Drow or something different. How's Luza doing though?
I was just about to say, it's a wild ride watching Dahak going from jungle camp to mid lane, realizing that she can't stay mid against a level 8 Kunkka.
Yeah, he has some stacks to work with though. He's getting some farm. I mean, this new jungle is great for Luza, right? You can basically non-stop farm.
Moon didn't bother with a torrent. Very difficult to handle that Ember Spirit as he is so mobile and slippery. Teeping down bottom. I don't think they have kill opportunity on KP. He's got Primal Split.
Yeah, I think this is just the farm. You leave the Night Stalker here on the lane and then you rotate the Jakiro around to ward or smoke up somewhere with the Ember.
Where's Immersion going? Down bottom. Oh, that's why. Night Stalker in all sorts of bother. They TP Paladai in. They've cancelled that now, realizing they have the kill regardless. And the Cyclone into Torrent, not quite perfectly timed, but they will still sprout out the Jakiro. With Afo coming in, though, he's got some big hits. Damaging forward, Paladai caught in the two-man impale with Kunkka in the back, and now KP out of the split. X mark on Immersion. Drag him back into the Torrent, and Febby arriving. Finishes it off for KP.
I honestly wonder if Gambit did this on purpose, putting Night Stalker there, because they saw the Panda, and when you see that brew right there, you know he's gonna go for you. He's go. Oh, well, Ember is gonna go for them right now.
The boat, though, in towards the Ember, caught with a Stormhammer, but the Icepath Macropire zoning them away. They don't care. They're not being zoned. They stand in the flames. Febby might die, will in fact, to the Macropire. And Medusa, I don't know, she's eyeing up this fight as something that maybe she can join in.
Nah, she's eyeing up these range creeps, I believe.
Or maybe a kill on Kunkka. Oh, this is big. Mystic Snake.
There.
That's it. Dahak says thanks there. Look, beautiful.
Yeah, great kill for him. This time around he does get it. They don't lose the kill. At the same time, Night Stalker is chasing KP.
The comeback story of Dusa. 3,400 net worth, treads, double wraith bands.
I mean, that's the casual story of Dusa, right? Sometimes we see her own that mid lane, but if she's on the side lane, she usually does have to come back. She's doing quite fine so far, quite alright.
Invis KP, half HP, no split.
Can't really do a whole lot, can he? Maybe with the rotation bottom.
Well, he goes in, gives Afterlife the old whack around. FNG, Sentry and Obs.
Just wants to go deep. He wants to ward the ancient camp. Basically, when you're playing versus Rao, you want to ward that ancient camp as soon as possible, but he has been late. This is definitely a little tardy from him.
Yeah, 13 minutes.
This observer though is gonna give them some vision for the next night, so they might be able to go in and scout that Drow and kill her off.
Especially with Nyx Vendetta now up and running, Immersion can potentially scout the opponents and open things up to make some plays. Good deny on the tier 1 top. As the sentry scouts out the Nyx Assassin, Febby and Paladai. They are pressing forward here. With the help of Kunkka and Drow arriving from the southern side, it looks like they want to maybe have a go on the Ember, but he just remnants back into jungle.
Yeah, he just runs away, and this Drow is going to have that Blink Dagger to work with from now on. Once she gets that Blink, she can even be the initiator with that Gust on the Ember or someone alike. So. But mostly what she's going to use this Blink for is just repositioning herself in teamfights and also moving across the map faster to farm even.
Repositioning herself into jungle camp more quickly.
But honestly, it is that. Just jumping from one jungle camp to another allows you to farm a bit faster.
Double hands of Midas from Mineski. Brewmaster, pretty normal for him. Midas into Vlad seems good. Kunkka with a Midas, though, is a little more unusual for me anyway.
2 bracers into Midas, not really something we see way too often, but it is a Kunkka build nonetheless.
If you're feeling like you're going to struggle to keep up with the Medusa's farm.
Yeah, you're playing versus Dusa. They realize that Gambit is going to do all in their power to prolong this game for as much as possible. So they say, alright, you want to prolong this game, we're going to get Midases.
We'll play your game.
Ember
play by your rules. Immersion. Helped out by Afo, in they go onto Paladai. A quick grab, but the Gust is good. X mark into boat. Silence onto Moon means it is not possible to drag the Ember back into battle. Night Stalker has been sent up into the air. Tries to wander himself over the treetops with that X mark into Stormhammer. A few little hits. Well, maybe not. He's so tanky. Arjit gusting back, but he's still hiding in the trees. They've got
Torrent.
no damage to go in.
Oh, they missed with the Torrent as well. He had 20 sticks there. That's basically the reason he survived, but overall just good jokes by him. Flew over those trees and rescued himself.
And only a 1k lead for Mineski. After such a stellar laning stage, things are starting to slip away a little bit. Stormhammer still chases the Remnant. Afo wants to commit with the help of Nyx. They will catch Kunkka. Don't really land the ice path well enough though, and Afo, he's going to commit hard now. Slight chains onto 2. The gust, it comes through, and a nice Stormhammer Torrent onto 2. This is good for Mineski now. Dahak's forced to Stone Gaze and FNG deep behind that tier 1. Bottom is all alone and nowhere to go. Do they get an additional bonus kill? Immersion's X'd into the boat. Mineski take down 3 of them.
Yeah, they did buy back the Kunkka, but this is definitely a rarity trade for them. Sadly, they could not catch that pesky little deuce that goes back into the jungle and continues farming, but they're gonna go and convert that teamfight into a tier 1 objective, which is pretty alright for them.
Drow was pinging saying Medusa is over here, but
How do you catch her?
yeah, they've got no one to really jump. How long is this night? 3.5 minutes. Hand of Midas queued up for Afterlife now. We're gonna have plenty of them.
I mean, it's the patch of the Midas. Honestly, everyone is buying Midases. Whatever you do, having a bad game, buy a Midas. Having a good game, buy a Midas.
Catch up, get ahead, accelerate, decelerate, whatever it may be.
Decelerate, that's usually what they want to do.
That's not what they want to do, but sometimes it happens.
It does.
Yeah.
It does definitely happen. There are some games in which Midases aren't optimal. Like if you have heroes that are supposed to be ahead but fall off and you go for a Midas, you can definitely hurt your chances of winning that game.
Kunkka top of net worth with a hand of Midas, aiming for BKB ASAP, but here we go with the Macropire Ice Path. The Kunkka's Midas is going to be on cooldown while he's dead. 70 seconds, quite a... Oh,
He bought back.
He
so
did buy back.
That's a dieback from him. And they might convert this into a tier 1 mid.
It's full to split.
Alright.
KP very, very wary of that crippling fear. Even if it was just used on the Kunkka, so not quite sure on the cooldowns of it. Goes for the safety play, which is just a split.
I mean, it is a freshly added spell in the game, so maybe not all the players are super down to the cooldown that it has.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's pretty long. You're not quite sure how many levels he's got in it either.
Radiant's
That's the
structures
biggest problem.
are fortified. Radiant's
Middle tier 1,
is under
trying to
attack.
convert this momentum into some objectives, Gambit. Afo and
there's-
Immersion.
There's no Kunkka and there's no split. You definitely go for this objective. You definitely go for it. This. You can see Pylai Die already trying to skip on top to split push.
FNG has no points in Liquid Fire, which I find quite interesting, but the fight kicks off with a sick 2-man Impale. Immersion starts the fight off with a bang. 2 supports are going to fall. Mineski lose, Pylai Die, and likely Febby. Nice Stalker. He's indecisive there. Ran forward, ran back. Now they are stunned up with a 2-man Stormhammer, but they have the mobility
Dire's top
to
tower
catch
is
up
under attack.
to Febby and Moon as Medusa goes to work. Right-clicking away, nobody focusing her down. Drow Ranger trapped all alone in the middle of 4. Mineski, they have really overextended themselves. Overestimated how much damage and sustain they have, and they just get crushed.
Yeah, they got baited super hard by that good boat combo. It was supposed to be a good combo, but it definitely wasn't in the end, right? So
They just walk straight past it.
Hmm.
And that's one of the problems. You use split defensively and you try and take a team fight, even if it is around your shrine. You just don't have the team fight abilities that you need.
you don't possess the damage. They have like a lot of mobility on the side of Night Stalker and the Ember. Nyx is alright there too, but he's not Night Stalker and Ember level, right? And these two heroes can get on top of Drow so easily that if you get clipped by anything and you don't have that Blink Dagger, you're just done. So positioning is all that matters for Drow. She tried to be a bit too aggressive there, got clipped by that split shot, couldn't blink out,
very good kind of repurposing of their positioning though, Gambit, right? Because they were chasing Febby, and they realized, 300 HP Febby, 200 HP, we can kill him quickly. But they saw the Drow, and they just immediately beelined straight towards that Drow, who had no real escape path.
Yeah, she was basically in crossfire. She got caught there.
Middle tower is under attack.
Walks into the middle of it all. Mineski now back onto their lanes. Moon with the X mark defends bottom tier 1. And also drags himself back so he can connect with the rest of his team top.
How close is he to this BKB, and how much do you think this BKB is gonna benefit him? I mean, it's a very defensive item, isn't it? But he's gonna be able to. Oh, X mark. Oh, they scouted. They know now. Oh, the what?
He's hasted. He's speedy. He's out of there for now. KP and Pylai die. Dealing with Afterlife. They throw out the Primal Split. But KP yet again struggling to stick on a target. Immersion will be the one they choose. I think Gambit here potentially just give it up. A nice ice path though. FNG in the choke point. Immersion still alive. Maybe can get another spell off. The carapace is there. Boat not connecting. And Mineski, they are in shambles. Really struggling to find a kill. Immersion will finally fall, but that took way too long. RJ in the meantime has died to the Ember on the left-hand side. KP, Febby and Pylai still in this Roshan pit. Well, they're just being zoned out. Kunkka can't join. Febby has to run one by one. Mineski, they either die or they run.
They're just being ran over right now. You just cannot stop this Gambit machine. Once they start rolling, they just obliterate everything in front of them. Definitely, they're their nightmare right now. I would not love to be in this Drow Rangers skin right now. It's a very difficult game to play this hero. Yeah, Wow TV, thanks. She does have that blink dagger. Stop pinging it out. We see. It's
3 blink daggers on Drow.
3 blink daggers, actually. But
damn. Pylai die. This is why Nyx and Ember are a very strong combination together. Nyx can scout and hunt across the map, and Ember can close the gap very quickly.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have travels or anything like that. He's just porting in the right situation at the right time.
Drow with a Dragon Lance after blink.
Are they gonna try for Rosh here?
Ooh, they've got the Vlads on KP. Moon, is that KP here yet? Not quite.
I think this might be a good risk. Unless Old Aklich goes and checks it. Jakiro is coming in too, but Rosh is already on 40%. It's getting really low.
Febby frontlining. Trying to scout as Gambit move in. 3 Mineski heroes in the pit, and Roshan is about to die. Aegis on the floor. Arjit grabs it up. Gambit still looking to fight in this area though. This is a nice boat. In towards FNG and Immersion, catching both, but the Stone Gaze to turn. Aegis is on the Drow, but she's being zoned out completely by Afterlife, so the rest of Gambit, they can focus on finding kills on people like Febby. Sven's about to fall. KP, his Primal Split, yet again not accomplishing a hell of a lot. And Afterlife is absolutely relentless with his chasing, his hunting of these Mineski heroes in the back. They'll lose 2 after that Roshan take.
And this Panda, he's just destroyed by all 5 of them. And I mean, you do go for that rush. It's a risky play. It's not, they felt like they needed to do something, right? And they went into the pit. They did get that Aegis, but was it worth it? I don't think so, but at least they denied that Duza the Aegis, right? Like, they denied Gambit the chance to take that Aegis and just completely take over the game. So it was a risky movement.
Yeah,
they lose 2, but all things considered.
Exactly. Took the words out of my mouth.
I stole them.
You did. Just snatched them out of the air. It's a difficult one. Even with this Aegis, it may be a lifeline to get back in the game. But Drow Ranger still lacking damage. Going for Hurricane Pike next.
Exactly. It's not only Drow that's lacking damage. Their whole team is lacking damage right now. Your Kunkka went for that BKB. He's not really contributing at all. We said that... We basically said it, that this Kunkka is ROM for the Drow, and there's Sven with Warcry for the Drow, and there's a lot of pressure on the Drow to perform well and to have a lot of farm so that she can dish out that damage. But the problem is, at the same time, there's Ember and there's Night Stalker. They're on top of her all the time, just chasing her around.
Exactly. Like, she can't do damage if she's not clicking, and she can't click if she's always running. Night Stalker's just hounding her and not allowing her to get any kind of damage out. As Pylai die, He's got no TP. Spell or scroll. That should be a nice little snipe there for Dahak. As the Medusa secures yet another kill. 5-2 and 5, top of the net worth. After a pretty disastrous laning stage, this Medusa has come back significantly.
Yeah, and look at that. This is the favorite spot. This is the home of the Dusa. Just around that shrine, farming. Not really caring at all while the Ember, great space, runs across the map.
How is FNG allowed to buy an item?
Wait, he bought Yules?
He has a full Yules.
How does he even dare, actually?
I don't know. Nyx has a Blink Dagger. I guess that's fair enough. But this entire map really does feel like it belongs to Gambit. They've not been afraid once of KP's Primal Split. He's either used it defensively, or has used it and not really accomplished anything with it.
It's only Pylai actually going in front, pushing with these treants, dying like often, but at least he's creating some space for this Drow. As you can see that they're all just hiding and feeling very scared. Top lane, FNG tries to port out.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a kill. But you look at the rest of the map.
And look at this. They found Drow. Well, she did spot him with that good sentry there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They've got to come back and deal with the Medusa push. Tier 3 takes a little bit of damage here. Top lane, they know that Drow has just relocated herself to bottom.
Oh, Kunkka.
So Immersion Scouting sees KP, Kunkka, as well as Paladin and Febby potentially in the back, but the Radiant Sentry Ward sees Immersion.
Kunkka has that BKB, so he's a hard target, but...
Double damage Rune Night Stalker. And Afo. They try and line up the Impale, not quite good enough for Immersion. It was a blind one, and he'll get X marked to pay for his sins.
I mean, there's a tier 1 here. Drow has Aegis, so they even though they're in front 6k, they decide, alright guys, this is too much, let's just back off. We missed our stuns. We're not gonna get him before he splits. Just leave the beast.
Aegis is about to go though, and it doesn't feel like Mineski have, pushed any kind of advantage. They've sat back, farmed, really trying to build up this Drow.
I mean, I don't think they had an advantage. I'm just saying that it wasn't as easy for Gambit to kill them, right?
Yeah.
So
they've delayed the inevitable.
yeah, it's not like they utilized that time to farm with Drow, so that's something. It's not like they ever had a true shot of just going ham.
KP does now have the blink, but we've got BKBs and a butterfly
On that Dusa.
on that Dusa. Ember with a blink Maelstrom.
And the Ashjit is actually going for BKB.
Even more defensiveness.
Are they gonna have the damage to Dusa? Especially for that butterfly, they need an MKB as soon as possible. He's building for an Orchid on Moon, on Kunkka, which is really... It's a peculiar build, considering there's already Yules on Ember, Yules on Jakiro. You can silence the Dusa, I suppose.
Manta
She has Manta.
Yeah.
So Orchid is... I mean, Bloodthorn later on, I suppose, but... I don't think this Orchid is gonna pay off. It might, but...
I guess a lot of these abilities are going to be used to get out of Gust, right?
Yeah.
So Drow blinks in, Gusts the Ember or the Medusa, whoever it may be.
Orchid after.
And then the Orchid after, I assume is the play. But KP has blinked into that AoE Silence of Night Stalker, and down he goes. Brewmaster pays the ultimate price.
FNG chasing Pylai die on top lane at the same time.
So he is.
Can
Ice Path. It's there. Paladai, will he try and TP again? You got a Yule Scepter. FNG, toy with him, play with him. There we go. And another Ice Path ready again. So Paladai can't actually get away.
He was just saving his cooldowns until the last moment, so he knows he gets that kill.
And with
You just let him port until the last split second, because you're waiting for your ice pads. So FNG was just playing with his food there. That was pretty alright.
quick Remnant away. Ember Spirit. I love that Stormhammer still chases the Remnant.
There are some spells that just follow you no matter what you do. And what's happening with the rest of the team on Gambit? Old Akulich has that BKB too, working towards AC.
They're all very big.
They are. They're very, very big. There's a blink on Ember. He's going for that Shivas. He can jump in, create space. There's Ghost on Nyx, so you aren't killing him that easily, at least.
And now Pike on Dusa to reposition herself in these fights.
They didn't adapt though. Drow did not go for the MKB. Are they gonna have the damage for Dusa at all? That's my question. Especially when she gets that BKB.
Kunkka does have that Orchid complete now.
Never refuse gold given.
So we'll see exactly how they utilize it. Maybe they go in with Kunkka Orchid and
then Gust.
Then Gust after, or vice versa. Whichever way around. But this map belongs to Gambit right now. Paladai's trying his hardest. Oh, Alpho just missing out on the chains. Nice little mind play though from the Prophet to Sprout. But not be inside of it. And FNG just split pushing these lanes. One of the greatest things about heroes like Jakiro or Shadow Shaman, for example.
No wonder he has farm.
A position 5 that just runs down a lane, throws spells in, but Febby spots him. Says hello with the blink dagger forward, but FNG has that Yule's Ice Path until Paladai arrives with the treants to block him inside these trees. Arjit will say thank you very much. I will claim this kill for myself.
Finally, they find the dragon. They take him down. Pretty good for them. I mean, FNG does worth a lot. 300 gold for Ajit. It's not little.
Immersion. Hello.
Courier. Oh.
That's the Drow's BKB. If he'd been paying attention just a little bit, he was stood here for a solid 2-3 seconds watching the courier run past him, and that could have been Drow BKB delayed.
That could have been huge. Instead, he's just going to get the courier. It's still some gold for his team and experience for him. Getting that courier is obviously valuable, but not nearly as it could have been.
He's the king of courier snipes by now, right?
He's very good at it.
His bounty hunter in the old days. I say the old days. In the last year and a half.
In the old days, it was the bounty hunter of London Conspiracy. What's his name?
MNT.
MNT, yeah.
Maybe
man, that
time.
guy was... Maybe next time you get your items. I remember that. He was so annoying.
That whole team was something special, wasn't it? The Greek squad.
It truly was. Sadly, they are no longer together. Like, we basically had two national teams, right? We had the Greeks and the Polish guys.
We had the Swedes for a while with Alliance, right? And we'll move in to try and take down KP. He's lost all of his mana to that Mystic Snake. She's got the talent up and running. Can't even split. Try to get back to the shrine, but Gambit are just running rampant over this Mineski side. KP has brought back, and they want to continue this fight, but I don't see it going any better.
By the time he gets here, there's gonna be no one left alive to fight with.
Moon has to BKB TP, and this is a free teamfight win, a free Roshan for Gambit, and it feels like this game is getting
KP
very
was
close
like,
to it.
alright guys, I'm gonna die buyback and we fight, but by the time he gets back into the fight, everyone else is just gone. That double damage.
They hunt. Oh, this is dieback from KP.
Cancelled.
Oh, guess the primal split off just in time. That's a wasted split yet again. KP with limited impact in this game as the Manta dodge not quite perfect from Dahak to get out the boat, but they claim the tier 3 and very likely an entire lane of barracks.
They use that Cyclone on the Dusa to prevent her from hitting the Raxus for a bit, but they didn't have creeps anyway. So now...
Oh, Paladai caught the creep wave.
Oh, there we go. Paladai doing
Nice.
work.
But...
Yeah, they are...
Bottom lane... How did they...
They were just close enough.
Oh, really?
They
From
were
here?
already close enough, yeah.
From the tier 2 mid? Yeah.
It's wonky like that.
Who's this? It's Paladai. Caught inside the nice path. And they jump forward with immersion. Carapace with an impale just being animation cancelled. He's waiting for the perfect time as Medusa runs straight forward into the enemy side. Stone gazing in with a nice ice path for FNG. It's 1 by 1. Mineski falling flat on their faces. Drow can't do a damn thing. BKB's up. She's got a Hurricane Pike out. She can't hit anyone. She's just being ran at. So all the damage that she has will finally come out towards Alpho, but she's got to turn tail and run. Nice Stalker's here with the Dark Ascension, and GG is called. They know it's over.
Yeah, they lost only one side, but in a situation such as this one, in a game such as this one, in which you are giving away a Night Stalker an ultra kill, 34 minutes into the game, you just call it. You see that Uze, you understand that you have not itemized against her, and I think that was... It wasn't only that they didn't itemize against Dusa. Maybe if they had MKB, they could have fought her, but I think the problem was the draft. You're picking this Drow into the Night Stalker, into the Ember. They just ran her down. Ever since... You remember, like, when the laning stage was over, I said this Ember is going to get 6 and he's going to look towards that Drow 24/7. He's just going to try and jump her. Instantly he rotates. Level 6 he rotates.
With Night Stalker.
Yeah, with Night Stalker. Gets her the first time. Then they did leave her some space. She did get that Blink Dagger. And I thought, alright, perhaps with this Blink Dagger, with proper positioning, they might be able to fight. But some very interesting item choices overall from Mineski. Orchid on Kunkka. I mean, I just don't see it. I'm not the one to flame the items just because they didn't work, just because maybe in some other game it does work, but why in this one? They already had the Mantas, they already have the Yules.
Like a Scythe of Ice, potentially.
Exactly, I would rather save up for that Hex. Then you have a solid way of actually catching that Ember. You have an actual item that's gonna allow you to kill him. If you invest into an Orchid, I don't see it, honestly. I just don't see it.
No, I think the interesting thing for me is that, like, looking at the way the laning stage went and looking at both drafts kind of side by side, they feel quite similar. The one biggest difference is that Gambit had the Nyx. Nyx was scouting, looking for Drow, getting all that information, finding out where Mineski are hiding, and Mineski didn't have the same hero to go looking for the Deucer, right?
Well, they had the Nyx, they had the Ember, they had the Night Stalker.
They had so much catch.
They have so much catch and so much scout as well.
I think if Mineski had, like, one hero that could maybe just...
They had Twilight Die. He could maybe send those treants around, give information, but there was no one to follow up. Who's going to follow up? You have no mobility.
Kunkka can't really with the builder. He went BKB into Orchid. Yeah, that's right.
2 Bracers, Midas, BKB.
It was a tough one.
They went super defensive with their items, and you're playing versus Aduza that did get crushed on the lane, but she's eventually catches up and just crushes you.
Well, Mineski on the rocks. Gambit looking very good with their hot win streak continuing. We'll take a quick break, and Game 2 will be coming up just after this.